I was suffocating in there. Yeah. So, how are we all doing? I checked the sound and it was okay, but if you hear vehicle sounds or bed sounds, I'm actually outside. Forgive me if the sound is kind of distracting. So you are welcome back to my channel. This is a serial founder of Oh Yes Africa. Oh Yes Africa is a travel brand dedicated to assisting travelers to travel around Africa, especially West Africa, without any hassle. So we have local tours, we do travel consulting. You can reach out to me directly in my email. I will link that in the description, or you can also book a tour on our website. So with that said, today's video is about 10 fun facts about Ghana you probably didn't know. Alright, the first thing we'll talk about is we eat our cuisines with a hand. Alright, most of our dishes are taken with a hand. Some of them you probably can take it with cutlery, but most food are taken here in Ghana with a hand, right? But now, because of cultural integration and everything in Accra, you see like differences where people use cutleries in taking our local food. Say you can use the cutlery for some dishes like rice-based dishes. But when it comes to, we have specific food that like every Ghanaian will tell you the taste is never the same if you use cutlery. You know, it can never be the same. Like if you are eating fufu and you use cutlery, no, you cannot get the same taste. You have to taste to know what I'm talking about, but it won't taste the same. I don't know if it's a thing of the mind or actually the hand adds some kind of taste to it. Okay, right now, enough of that. So the second fun fact you probably didn't know about Ghana is everything is negotiable. As you step out, if you're a traveler, I experienced this in Togo myself. So maybe in West Africa, but generally in Ghana, everything is negotiable. You go to the market, you will be shooting yourself in the foot if you pay the first price that is called, because the buyers think or know that you will negotiate for a better price, so they kind of double the amount that they actually want you to pay. So if you actually pay for the first amount mentioned for any kind of commodity you are buying, it actually means you are paying double the amount. This is not even just the foreigner kind of price. You know, we have that thing when you travel to other countries where prices are inflated because you're a foreigner, but this is not just about that. This is a general thing when even it comes to the locals. If you get to the market and you pay for the first price that is called, you're actually probably paying for almost double the price. So you will have to negotiate, even if you don't have good negotiating skills. For me, I don't like the back and forth stuff. What I do is, let's say you call 100 cedis, I divide the price into two and say, okay, let's say it's 100 cedis, I will start negotiating from 50 cedis. And mine is, I'm not paying more than 60% of the commodity. If I get half the price, hooray. But I start from half the price and negotiate for some time, and we get to maybe 60, then that would be okay for me to buy. You get it? That is a general thing. But sometimes you negotiate and they act like no, they won't take it and everything, and you act like you're walking away. And this is kind of an insane trick, but sometimes I negotiate to a point where I act like, okay, if you're not going to give me the price that I want, thank you for trying to reduce the price, but this is what I'm willing to. If it's not okay for you business wise to give it to me at that price, then that is fine. So that way they kind of feel like, oh, if you actually had money you would buy, you know, that kind of thing. So I start walking away and they'll be like, okay, you bring that, you bring the 50 cedis. It doesn't go my way always, because sometimes they feel like no, they can't sell it below the price they are actually offering. So even if you walk away, that is fine. But in most cases, when you start walking away, they'll be like, okay, you bring the money, because they don't want you to go with the money, and they feel like, okay, although they are not making what they want to make, they are still making something off of whatever you are buying. You get it? Yeah, so that is just tidbits. If you are staying in Ghana, you will have to adapt this, because most of the time they're expecting that you'll be negotiating so that they will come to a price which will be good for you and good for them. So try to negotiate to get a better price. The third fun fact about Ghana you probably didn't know is the use of the left hand. This is something very obvious in my opinion. If you've ever traveled to Ghana before, it's evident, you can see it. The left hand is kind of used for dirty things. In our tradition, we consider the left hand to be dirty, so it's actually disrespectful or rude to use the left hand to talk to someone, to talk to an elderly person, even to your colleague. It's still rude, but in a colleague situation that can be pardoned, you know, but to an elderly person that is considered very rude. It's actually rude everywhere to use the left hand, no matter how old you are. And in any case, if you have something in your right hand because of which you can't use the right hand to give whatever it is you want to hand over, or to maybe talk, you know, sometimes when you are talking you move your hand. So if you keep moving the left hand, immediately the look on the person's face will tell you, hey, what are you doing? But yeah, you use the right hand most of the time. But if the right hand is engaged, then you're allowed to use the left. But in that case, like if it's a colleague, the colleague can see your right hand is engaged, so obviously you will have to use the left. But if it's an elderly person, what happens is you will have to kind of apologize for using the left. So let's say I want to hand over this phone to an elderly person, but I'm eating. You know, I told you from the beginning that we usually eat with our hand, and that is the right hand. So if you are eating with your right hand, obviously there is a left hand that is free. So whatever you are handing over, you'll be handing over with your left hand. So what you do is you go this way and you say, oh, I'm sorry for my left. When you cross this way, it's kind of saying, okay, you are exchanging your right hand with your left, so now your left hand is your right hand, and people really appreciate that. Like, you are showing your respect. The fourth fun fact about Ghana you probably didn't know is when you are at a restaurant, right, in Ghana, it's considered very rude, even if not at a restaurant. Let's say you visit someone at a home, they serve you with food. I see that a lot with some foreigners, right, like some of my tourists, and for them that is okay. It's okay to smell like maybe food or whatever it is, to see to see how it's gonna taste, or it's something they want to eat. But really, it's very rude to smell food, even at a restaurant where you are buying with your money. I don't know, how are you going to do it? Like, you are going to... No, don't do that. Don't do that. Maybe when you're in the market buying stuff, please don't smell them. It's very, very rude, and a lot of people are triggered by that, so refrain from that. That is just, simple, right? Now to the next fun fact about Ghana. Ghanaians are the most friendly people you will find in Africa. They are very open and respectful, hospitable. Like, if you are a stranger, you approach them with respect, and being nice. They are so thrilled to make your experience really good. For that, I give it to my people. Like, they do that easily, and I think they're actually nicer to foreigners than they are to us. Yeah, I think so. In some situations, I think they are nicer to foreigners than they are to us. Like, when they realize you are not from here, they want you to feel comfortable. So as you travel to Ghana, it's something to expect. The next thing is, Ghana makes some of the best alcoholic beverages. Akweteshi is one of the popular ones. Not that I'm promoting alcoholic beverages, but I'm letting you know, right? Let's not mention names, but I discovered wine that is made here, and when I saw the wine at first, I was intrigued, but at the back of my head I'm like, wine in Ghana, this is my first time seeing wine made in Ghana, and I'm like, well, let's see. And guess what, after tasting it, I was hooked. I like wines. I usually like whites, but that wine is Alomo root wine that is red, so it tasted really nice. I was hooked on it for a very long time, like about 2 years ago. I really liked it, and it was well done, and it tastes really, really good, and I'm like, I'm impressed. There are other beverages here, and we are actually growing, but when you are in Ghana, try the local gins, the spirits, the wines, and you will love them. The next fun fact about Ghana is that the official language is English, but the national language is Twi. Tree is spoken almost, I won't say everywhere, but almost everywhere in Ghana. You go, you can easily communicate in Tree. So if you kind of want to orient yourself in the Ghanaian system, you have to learn Tree. Tree is the best way to go, you know. Generally, we have 9 spoken and written languages. It was kind of established in 1951. We have the dagbani, dagari, gonja, kasem, Tree, let me check. Okay, we have dangme and nzema. Although we have like a lot of languages in Ghana, we have about 85 languages, but 9 are official and they are written and they are taught in schools also. But Tree is kind of the national language. It's very popular wherever you go, maybe except fancy lands. Fancies like to speak fancy. But when you, apart from the regions that speak fancy, like it's popular wherever you go. It's actually used for communication a lot. You know, predominantly Ghana is a Christian country. We have the other religions like the Islamic, we have traditional religion, but mostly it's Christianity, right? But it's very common to meet people or find people who have dual religion status, if you will say. Like we have people who are traditionalists but also go to church. So I call them dual religionalists. They go to church on Sundays and they pour libation too. It's very common among Sikh traditional communities. Like if you go to royal families, they pour libation, they respect our gods, you know, they pay homage to them when they have to, but at the same time they go to church, which means they are Christians, right? The 9th fun fact about Ghana you probably didn't know is that Kente is the most luxurious clothing in Ghana. In Ashanti region, there's a place called Bonre. That is where it all started, you know. That is where they weave most of them in large scale. So to know the history, everything, when you come to Ghana, it's just prudent to visit the Bonre and they will tell you all about it, the process, how they go by, why they do what they do, and still most of them are using the traditional way of actually weaving the kente. So it has got the soul of the person weaving the kente, if that makes sense. Like if I come to you to make kente for me, it carries more value to me than just going to the market to buy kente. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So the most luxurious clothing in Ghana is our famous kente, and they have a lot of variations. They have a lot of meaning to it. The occasions you have to wear which one. Some of them are like combination of different ones to kind of communicate or send a message. You understand? So let's move to the last thing. The last fun fact about Ghana is coffins and caskets. It sounds a little bit weird, like talking about coffins, but coffins and caskets are designed to kind of suit the personality of the deceased. Let's say if the person who is passed is a musician, it's popular to see the shape of the coffin or the casket to be like a mic, right? Let's say someone who was popularly known to be someone who prepares banku. So you know this famous black pot, the coffin could be designed to take that shape to represent like the life that a person led on this earth, if that makes sense. And I think that is really a nice way of communicating. That is a nice way of saying goodbye. You know, we recognize your life on this earth and this is what you represented, if that makes sense. So that is something very unique and very popular in Ghana. So all in all, these are the 10 fun facts about Ghana that you probably didn't know, but now you know. So as you are traveling to Ghana, just keep these things in mind. Some of them you will have to actually practice, some you just have to know. All right, so thanks so much for watching and for sticking around to the end. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe for more content like this and support your girl. And until next time, bye.